time for the Fall Classic. And we have two very special guests for you, World Series champs that played against each other. And of course, I'm going to give you my Week 8 NFL predictions. I'm Ashley Haas, and I'm all in.
The money keep calling my name. Dollar signs make you sing.
I need a little guidance on my World Series predictions. So who better than two World Series champs themselves? I am so excited to present these two next guests. Let's start things off with the man who is the most energetic, fun, smiles, everything on and off the field. I'm talking about all-star, former New York Yankee, Nick Swisher. Swish, swish, swish.
Let's go, kid. Let's go. What's good?
What's up? Oh, thank you for being here.
Of course.
But before we get to chatting, I got to introduce the flying Hawaiian, the former Philadelphia Phillies. You won 2 World Series. Technically, only one counts because one was actually with the Boston Red Sox. But let's give a warm welcome to the one and only Shane Victorino.
Aloha. Yeah.
What's up?
Welcome.
Shane,
Aloha.
thank you so much for joining. You have no
Appreciate
idea how happy Papa Haas is to have the two of you here. I actually had to ask him. So yesterday I went to his house and I told him that you both were going to be on. And he was equally as excited for you, Shane, who is a Philadelphia Philly, but even you, Swish, like he was so excited for you. He was like, he's a great ball player, man. I can't believe you got Nick Swisher on this show. I was like,
hey, player. hey, we know Papa Haas don't get too excited that often, dude. So you know what? I'll take it, player. I will take it.
that man has never cracked a smile or said he was proud of my life. I was saying, like, I started to, like, just, my mom always says I do TMI, but I was actually, like, you know, looking in my camera to check to make sure I didn't have anything in my teeth because I just eaten. And all of a sudden he's like, I'm so proud of you. And I went, boop, record. What'd you just say? I'm sorry, what? You're proud of me? I'm sorry, were you proud of me? Can you say that again and a little slower and I can put that on my voicemail? So he said he was very proud of me that I got you both here. And, you know, you both are two family men, and I love that so much. With Halloween coming around, are your kids going to dress up as anything fun for the holiday?
Yeah, so I got 2 girls, and I got one that's going as the Lorax, which is
Oh, that's a good one.
An interesting costume. And then I got my other girl is going as Super Mario from the Mario Brothers. So her and her best friend, they're teaming up, Mario, Luigi. They're going, I'm not quite sure what they're going to dress me up as this year. I'm hoping I can just go as like a cool dad. But I mean, I'm not quite sure that's going to happen. You know, with being a girl dad, you never know what can happen. I might have makeup all over me by the end of the night. I'm not quite sure. But I think either way, Halloween's always such a fun time. It's just such great family time, being able to go around. And Shane, you got kids, bro. You know exactly how it is. So I think just for myself, I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to get it going.
Yeah, I'm the same here. I mean, you know, my kids are a little older. One's off in college at Miami, so I'm sure she'll go and do some things, and obviously be our first time not having her around. But my 15-year-old, I'm sure he's going to get in a golf cart and go be all his buddies. And he hasn't decided. He actually said to me last night, "Hey, Dad, can we go to the costume store and try to pick out a costume?" So we'll probably be doing that in the coming days. But yes, nothing like Halloween, you know, especially when you get those photos from fans and that shows you know, like you say to yourself, man, that you could be anything in the world, but look, you're wearing, you know, my jersey, and you send me the photo and you tag me. Like, those are the kind of things that I cherish, and you know, especially this time of year. And Halloween's always fun, especially coming from a candy guy.
Yes. Yeah, I love that so much. I saw, you know, Freddie Freeman got tagged in a photo where it was a video where he said, "Hey, you're wearing my jersey," you know, and that is something that's so amazing because you guys get people to wear your jerseys quite often, obviously, at the games and in life, but to have it on Halloween is something so extra special because that is a day when kids, teenagers, everyone of all ages can dress as anything you want in the whole world. You can dress as a tree. You can dress as a lamp. You can dress as somebody, you know, anything, alive, not, passed away, you know, and for these kids and fans to dress up as you guys, what an honor. So has that happened to you also, Swish?
Yeah, well, I mean, it has happened a few times, and you know me, dude. I'm a man of the people. I've always been that way.
Yeah.
And just to see the reaction on the kid's face when you actually walk up, I'm like, bro, hey, nice jersey, man. Go Yanks, bro. And he turns around. He's just like,
Yeah.
I can't even believe where that is. But I think just in general, I remember seeing that video of Freddie Freeman when he went up to that kid and was like, hey, man, you're wearing my jersey. But that's also a testament to who Freddie Freeman is. A lot of athletes wouldn't be the guys to go over and say hi to that kid. But the thing that Freddie did for that kid, he will never forget that for the rest of his life.
I know.
So it gives Freddie, obviously we all love
nice.
Freddie. He is one of the nicest human beings on the planet, one
Oh,
of the
yeah.
best players that we have in our game. And anytime that you have those individuals going out of their way to make other people feel good, I think that's what it's all about. And so when I saw that video, I was just like, oh my gosh, the fact that that kid got to meet Freddie Freeman, he's probably going just nuts.
I don't think he
over
even
it,
knew what was happening at the time, to be honest.
For
He was just
sure.
kinda
I think
like,
he was in shock. Yeah.
yeah, he was in shock. He was like, do you want a picture with me? That's my jersey. You want a picture with me? He's like, okay, dude, like whoever you are. Like, because he was in a costume too. He was in a costume too with his kids. So he was just like, okay, bro, like you want to take a picture with me? Cool. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and then I think his parents got him home and went, do you know what just happened?
You know that's
Yeah,
happened to you, Shane, for sure, bro. I know you've had a couple
Oh, man.
jerseys, and you go right up to those kids just like I do.
I like to actually. It's funny. I used to love to do with the older fans. You know, like a girl man walking the streets of Philly, and I would literally drive up in this car and I'd yell, "Victorino sucks!" And I'd like sit at the light, and then I'd drive off, and then people would be like, guys would start yelling, and then I'd pop my head out, and then we start laughing. But it's like I always think it's so funny, like you said, someone wearing your jersey, just flip it on them. Like mine was more just towards an adult. But as far as a kid, man, yes, walking up to some kid and seeing them wearing your jersey and tapping them on the shoulders and, seeing that face and, facial expression of when they turn around and being like, man, is that really you? No way. And, making their day, it doesn't get better than that. Like you said, being a family guy.
Well, what about if you're a TV host wearing your jersey?
Oh, yay! Swish! Must be that
I knew
Philly
it,
connect, you know
bro,
what I mean?
I knew it.
You said
Yeah.
I knew when I got on this thing today that she was going to have some sort of Philly
Just
shit
biased.
on,
There
bro.
was
I
some
knew
bias.
it. I knew
Well,
it.
listen, I did bring that, but I also brought, because I'm staying at my mom's house right now, I found my first ever Philly shirt.
Oh my
How
God!
cute is this
How
thing?
cool is that?
I mean,
Man.
It doesn't even cover like it's
A
like
shoulder.
a bib.
Shoulder.
Hey, you need to
That's
tell your
cool that
mom
you
to
still
get in
have
there.
that.
You need to get in and tell
I
your
can't
mom to
even
start
believe I
cleaning out some
found that.
stuff.
You know what's
I
funny?
know.
It's cute seeing that kind of stuff because there was a time where our friends have kids and Melissa, my wife, would bring out some of those old stuff that she had from my daughter, and she would literally pull out these, like you said, the onesie that she wore, at the World Series, and you're like, oh my God, and it brings back such great memories, and you say to yourself, like, oh my goodness, where does time go, really? The fact that you're pulling this out of a bin, and here you are, doing and being a host and doing all these wonderful things. It's like, man, slow time down somehow.
Seriously, I mean, I'm with you. It's crazy, but don't forget. I mean, listen, Swish. I also brought my Yankees cap for you
Okay,
because
all
there
right,
was
Blair, I appreciate you. Okay,
yeah,
all right, I knew it. I knew it. I knew you're a New York
You
girl
know.
too. I get it.
I actually have. By the way, I actually have 2 New York hats to my one Phillies hat. So
That's okay.
yeah, I
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
know that Philly hat
I-
has been worn in for sure, dude.
It has been worn in. It has been worn in. But I will say this. I love the Yankees because I hate the Mets. I'm so sorry, but I'm not a Mets fan. So I did grow up with, my dad grew up also a Mickey Mantle fan, which is partly why I think he is
Nice.
so excited also about the Yankees. But let's talk enough about family a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the fact that you two played each other in the World Series in 2009. So this is like a little fun situation for me because this is like my childhood dream. I watched that game with my dad, and I remember just game 6, Swish, you got a epic home run, and that was your first postseason, and you literally, I hate it, but I love it. The picture of you running with the flag.
Well, I think just in general, that
I
was
hate it, but
such an
love it.
epic series. I mean, you got to remember in 2008, the Phillies were a juggernaut. I mean, there's no doubt. And even coming into 2009, I mean, you got Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Jason Worth, Shane Victorino. I mean, the Chase Utley. I mean, the list goes on for just the All-Stars and just overall studs they had on that squad.
Ruiz.
And, we felt really good about our chances going into that. And, I mean, Jimmy Rollins gave us a little bit of locker room material when he came out and said the Phillies were going to win in 5. And so that was maybe, I mean, listen, on my side, I had Derek Jeter. I had Mariano Rivera. I mean, can you imagine, bro, the Hall of Famers and just that we're
A-Rod, Hideki Matsui. You want me to keep going? Let's stop.
Yes. Yes.
And then let's talk about all your pictures and Bennett and everybody else. CC.
Yeah. I mean, it was just kind of one of those things where you were just like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that those two teams were up against each other because you normally don't see that. You don't normally see the two star-studded teams going up against each other in the finals because usually the best teams don't always make it that far. But that was just I mean, obviously for myself, being able to win was an awesome, epic experience. And, for Shane, bro, he got 2 of them. I've only got 1. But at the end of the day, we'll take it. It was what a magical series. That was a lot of fun. I mean, Chase Utley was unconscious that series. I remember that. Jason Worth was as well. When he hit that second home run off of Pettit, off of the facade in left field and slammed his bat down, that was one of the cockiest things I've ever seen in my life, bro. That was unbelievable.
No, I get it. I mean, like you said, it was a great matchup. And what's great about actually talking about this, it resonates in today's game and this year's World Series. I mean, the last team, to go back in the National League to back-to-back, world, being, I should say, defending champs, going to another World Series was us in 08 and 09. So it's kind of cool that we're reflecting on this World Series because the Dodgers are doing exactly what we did, some odd years ago back in 2008, going to 2009, with them winning in 24, going into 20. Yeah, so it's cool,
I'm
because
such a dork.
It's all good, but that's because you understand the game and you understand the depth of that kind of stuff and how hard it is to look and say to yourself, like in 08 and 09, that's the last team as a defending champ to go back to another World Series. I mean, that's just how hard it is to do. Again, lucky enough as us, to be World Series champions. It's not that easy. So it's an epic World Series. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Even going back, I remember I tell people in 09, when I first took the field, and it's one of my greatest memories. And unfortunately, it's a memory that I always try to erase out of my mind because that damn song plays so much in New York City. But, running out from the third baseline and running up on Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, on the float, right behind second base singing, I don't want to say that song. And I'm just like, man, I always get chills because I'm like, man, I got Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, like, they're singing in my biggest moment, like, holy, like, this is cool. And so, like, when I look back on those World Series, yes, unfortunately, I made the last out, something I had to watch and still watch for the rest of my life, grounding out against Mariano Rivera. But I tell people the greatest moment about that was Jimmy and I stood on the on-deck circle before that last inning and said, hey, I know we probably don't have a chance, but Jay was like, I'm not going to make the last out. And I looked at him and said, I'm not going to make the last out. And so we literally were there on the circle telling each other, like, hey, you don't make the last out. I ain't making the last out. Unfortunately, he got on. I got the last out. I ended the World Series in 09. Tip for cap to the Yankees. But as I said, it was such a great memory when I look back, as I said, teams that are talked about today, when people talk about the Dodgers of 2024 going to 25, a lot of them bring about the Phillies of 08 and 09. So it's a lot of great memories, man, for sure.
I can honestly tell you as a Philadelphia Phillies fan, no one remembers that last out from you. So trust me. I mean, I bought that yesterday. You are still, your jersey is still sold in Philly.
No,
don't you worry. You
sure.
are very loved. You're very loved. So don't worry. Yes. And even though you did go to the Red Sox, like, we still will take it. We'll still take it.
I get it.
No, but let's talk a little bit about, the fact that it has been 32 years since Toronto has been in a World Series, and they actually won. They beat the Phillies, actually.
Phillies,
Which kind of is... So listen, who are you guys rooting for in this series? Are you going Dodgers or are you going Toronto? Who are we liking in this?
Well, I mean, for myself,
people, go ahead, Swish.
I was going to say, I mean, Shane's got a dog in the fight. I don't have a dog in the fight, So I think just in general, I've always been an American League guy, pretty much the entirety of my career. So I've always wanted the American League to do well. And to tell you the God's honest truth, I know Toronto beat us in the divisional series, but when I saw Vladimir Guerrero Jr. crying at the end of that, I mean, bro, I got goosebumps right now. I'm just thinking to myself, like, it means so much to him. And that was one of those things as an athlete, it's emotional. And you
Yeah.
just don't necessarily see the emotions come out like that. But I think for someone like him to be the forefront of the Toronto Blue Jays, to be the man, to care that much, it's almost like when you walk into that locker room, you have no choice but to fall in line with the way that he goes about his business. So I just think for myself, listen, I know it feels like almost like a David versus Goliath sort of matchup. And I feel like for myself, if I had to choose a team, I want the Blue Jays to win. I'm an American League guy. And I'm just going to give you one little stat that I got a couple days ago. 4 times in the history of Major League Baseball have there been one team in the championship game, or in the in like the ALCS and the NLCS. One team has swept and the other team went all 7 games. And all 4 times that has happened in Major League Baseball, the team that went 7 games in the championship series ended up winning the World Series. So just a little piece of, just a little stat for you guys.
Stop with that analytics, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's truth. I mean, it's 4-0. Like, you got to say to yourself, I'm leaning in that direction. And I can probably attest to that and answer it, because I remember when we went to the World Series, we had a big gap in between. And everybody was talking about how, taking a week off. And we played the game, and it's understandable. Like, baseball's a game where you got to stay in sync. And when you play 7 games, it's one of those things. You stay, the energy level's still up. And, but man, that Dodger team, I mean, it's just I say to myself, it's an all-star team on a diamond, and then you got guys like Kiki and people that like that people aren't even just talking about. But yeah, those are the guys that just scares me. I mean, Edman, I mean, that's what I was saying. Edman, I mean, you talk about Will Smith. I mean, like everybody's talking about Ohtani and Betts and Freeman, and it's like, bro, nobody's talks about. So what I say to myself, and understanding a little bit and playing in 3 of them, lucky enough when I say that, is like, when I look at this kind of stuff, I say to myself, like, okay, you're going to shut out Ohtani, you're going to try to shut out Freeman, you're going to try to shut out Betts, you're going to shut out, just like on the opposite side. The ALCS, how did they win? Their 7, 8, 9 batters were coming up all day long for the Toronto Blue Jays. It wasn't the big thumpers. Yeah, the big thumpers were doing their thing, but ultimately it was those guys setting themselves up, getting on base, being whatever for that Springer home run. Like, it wasn't technically the middle of the lineup, and that's where I say to myself, what excites me about this, and no bias sides, and I did wear and bear a Dodger uniform, so obviously there's a little shift to that side, but ultimately for me, I just want great baseball. I think, like you said, it's a David and Goliath feel. But, I mean, as a baseball guy, bro, I just love the Blue Jays and the way they play baseball, that little ball, that, just putting the bat on the ball, Alejandro, that Kirk guy, nobody talks about him. I think he's one of the dopest hitters on the Blue Jays, but nobody talks about him. Like, everybody's like, oh, he's slow and he does this. I'm like, dude, the dude absolutely rakes every at bat. I'm like, I don't want that guy. Like, I don't want that guy. Just like when I'm sure people said Swish was at the plate, or myself was at the plate. Like, I don't want to see that guy. I want to see the guy that tries to swing for homers all day long. I promise you. But having Kirk at the plate in his crucial situation, I don't like that feeling, So I cannot wait. I'm excited, man. I'm counting down the hours till this game starts, because the energy in both cities. Toronto hasn't been there for a bit. LA's the defending champs. Man, I mean, baseball and Major League Baseball's got to be smiling about the matchup that they have right now. I mean.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. And do you guys have a prediction on who you think might take it? Or...
I mean, listen,
I hate predictions.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, I know. Don't worry. I do mainly football predictions, so this isn't locked in stone. This is just if you have an idea of who might take the whole series.
I want to see all 7. I want to see all 7. I don't care who comes out on. And I want to be. I just want to see 7. I want to be on my edge of my seat, like, because it's funny. My wife and I swear we watch games together, and I think she's more locked in on every part of the game and more than me. So and I love it, and I think it's awesome. But it's cool because it's like we're both so nervous sitting on the couch, and I'm like, babe, we have nothing to do with this. Why are we so like, But again, it's like you live it. We've done it for our lives, and it's just understanding the magnitude of the moment for the players at hand is what I think is cool about these kind of moments for me as a fan now.
Swish, does your wife also watch
Oh,
baseball
yeah,
with
dude.
you? Or
Oh yeah, dude. You know, my wife is a gamer, bro. She really is, and
Let's
she shows
go.
up. She loves football, right? And she shows up for the huge games, right? I mean, obviously, being a special advisor with the Yankees, I watch a lot of Yankee games, and that's usually the game that's on in our home a lot. So if you want a rundown on the New York Yankees, Joanna Garcia Swisher is the lady that can break you down for sure, man.
Honestly, I love your wife. I love watching her in the past on Reba. I grew up with her watching Reba, and now I'm watching her on Sweet Magnolias. So
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Of
She's
course.
killing it, dude.
Yes, I mean she is killing it. So the fact that she has time to watch games with you too, I love that the wives are in on it. That's so fun because not every I'm always by myself watching sports. I don't know many girls that like to watch sports. So I think it's fun when you can share that with your person. I've never even dated a guy that knew about sports much. I actually told this story the other day.
You need to shift. You need to make a change,
I know.
dog.
She lives around all yeah.
I know. Do you guys want to hear what happened actually? So I took in the 2013 World Series, I took a boyfriend who was British and he was in line to get a hot dog and a beer. And I remember he was on the phone and he goes, hold on, I got to go. I'm at some baseball game. And he like hangs out. That was the worst British accent I've ever done. Hold on. I'm at some baseball game. I've got to go. And he hung up and everyone turned around and went, some baseball game. I swear he almost died in Philly that day. I had to literally protect that man at all costs. I was like, no, he doesn't mean it. He's British. He doesn't mean it.
He's British.
You're talking about 2023. You're talking about 2023, not 2013.
Sorry, 2023. Yes,
yeah,
2013 you won. Sorry, 2013 you won.
2023.
Sorry.
I was there in Philly. Yes, we went to the World Series. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on the good end. But just correcting you. I just want to make sure that that your viewers
thank you
sit
for
there and
watching
go,
out.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, exactly. No, that was when 2023 is when you won the World Series with the team we do not talk about. But yes, in 2023, exactly. And he was basically like, some baseball game, and I was like,
awesome.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
Yeah,
Players is the biggest game in our country. Yeah,
exactly.
Not in Philly too.
Bro, don't
Not
talk
in
anymore.
Philly.
Just stop talking. Just look handsome and stop talking, bro.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
Exactly. But what's really crazy is how everybody has surrounded this Toronto Blue Jays team. Even the Raptors and the Maple Leafs have readjusted their schedule so everyone can watch. Because honestly, right now is my favorite time of year. I'm getting chills again because I'm such a dork. But I absolutely love it. We are mid-season of football. We're talking hockey kicked off, basketball kicked off, and the World Series is happening. Yes, I have chills. Oh my God, I'm such a dork. And the fact that the Blue Jays adjusted the Blue Jays are so loved that the Raptors and the Maple Leafs adjusted their schedule so everybody can be involved. I just love it so much. Even Aaron Judge was at sitting at the Celebrity Row at the Knicks game. I mean, I love when you guys also get into other sports. So just a side question, who do you guys root for when you're in your football life? Do you guys have a team that is your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, for myself, obviously, New York had such an impact on me. It was a place that really kind of just turned me into the man that people know now. For myself, listen, we haven't really had a whole lot to celebrate about with the New York Giants. But lately, I'm telling you, Jackson Dart, baby, he's doing it. I mean, I know.
I love Scattaboo.
Scattaboo excites me, dog. I love that dude. He didn't want to put his helmet on and run people over.
He just went, bro. If he put up a brick wall, he would run right through that thing, bro. For real. But by the way, that's a vibe. That's a culture.
He ran into the end zone the other day with the guy in the end zone 3 yards into it. Instead of dodging him, he said, no, I'm going to hit you just because I want to hit you. And I'm like, dude, this dude just loves contact. But you're right. It's a vibe, bro. It's an energy thing. It's cool. It's fun as hell to have for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously I don't know a whole lot about him, but I think just in general, just watching the way he goes about his business, people want to be part of something like that. They want to be part of somebody who's giving it every last ounce of effort that they have out there on the field. And the fans appreciate that shit too, especially in New York City. You know what I mean?
He reminds me of a young Brian Dawkins in my mind. Sorry, but I have to say, like, just the idea that because Brian Dawkins used to crawl out. I know they have different positions, but Brian Dawkins used to crawl out and just be like a beast. And no one ever had that energy. And I feel like he is the New York running back version of that. But that's my mind.
Yeah, energy's big, man, especially in the sport, man. I love guys that bring that, like you said, Dawkins, man. You just knew when that guy took the field, or the Ray Lewis's where you're like, oh, I don't know, man. This is a different energy. Like there's that aspect to it. Ash, as far as my team, I'll keep it quiet. I've always kept it quiet, but I
Okay.
love football in general. I
Okay.
just think I love sports. I think I
Yeah.
tell people like,
Actually, for your own safety, please do not tell anybody. We don't want to lose our Philly fans. So if it's anything else, it's just a quiet. It's like one of those do not ask, tell, done. Moving
she's
on.
trying,
Moving on.
move on. She's trying to stir the pot. See that? See how
I
she's
was
trying to
like,
stir the
I
pot?
didn't know.
These
I
media
didn't
people,
even.
they love stirring the pot, and they
Oh, yeah,
always
no, I'm
like
so
to try to
sorry.
like, like try to get them to.
Well, let's.
No.
I do want to ask you though. Like we talked a little bit about some epic players you guys played with. I want to know before I let you both go. Is there a fun story, or I mean, something? Do you guys still keep in contact with your old teammates? I want to hear a little bit because you guys had such legends that you played with. I got
No,
to
I
know.
mean, you talked about that, that '08 team and '09 and all those years from, that great run that we had in Philly. Last year, we all went to London for the Phillies series, and post that, we all got on a plane together and we went to play golf in Scotland. So, like when I look at that kind of stuff, and you say to her, yes, like there's definitely that bond, that unity that you'll have forever. And those guys are brothers to me, just like the 13 team. And I tell people, not just the teams that I won on, just anybody that I got to come across, to play the game of baseball at our level. We're definitely a small fraternity. We're a band of brothers. We all get to go and do something that, the whole world wish they could do. But, so even in retirement, I definitely stay close to the game as much as I can. I'll get to hang out with Swiss sooner than later, with the CAP program that we're doing with the commissioner's office. So, there's a lot of great things for us to be grateful for as, baseball players in retirement, as they call old farts.
Yeah, I mean, there's no
Oh
doubt about
no.
it. I think more than I think one of the things that kind of stands out in my mind is not even necessarily the guys that you played with, because you obviously you have a relationship with them, so you continue to keep that going. But I think one of the things that I've most appreciated since being out of the game is back in the day, bro, we all were fighting against each other. We all were battling up against each other. And there might have been somebody across the line that you didn't like, or maybe somebody had a chip on their shoulder or whatever. But there's a reason why they played in the major leagues. It's why they were one of the 750 big leaguers on the planet. And so I think for myself, one of the things that I've appreciated most is meeting those guys outside of the game, and everybody's cool because you're part of that fraternity.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the coolest things about it. Obviously, still have relationships with all my buddies from the Yankees, my Oakland A days, even, myself with the Atlanta Braves for a hot minute at the end.
Yeah.
But I think just in general, I think just for myself being out of the game, it's so much cooler. The relationships are closer. Everybody's so much tighter because you're not battling up against each other. No one's taking food off of
Yeah.
anybody's plate anymore. We're all in this together because we're doing the best we can to try and give back to the game. And I think what Shane was talking about with the Commissioner's Ambassador Program has been one of the coolest things that I've ever been able to be part of, because you've brought back like all the cool kids, you know what I mean? And like just to be able to spend time with those guys. I'm flying up to
Cool Kids
Toronto
Club.
here in a couple hours. Shane's going to be
Yeah.
out in Los Angeles. We're doing a really, really cool thing, like trying to keep the alum as tight to the game as possible. Because, like Shane was saying, I mean, just in general, once you're done with the game, the machine keeps rolling, right? And unless you can hold on to something, the game is just going to pass you by. And so I think Major League Baseball is doing one hell of a job, doing their best to keep all the alumni together as they can. And I just think for myself, as well as Shane, he would reiterate this, that we're just so blessed to be in the positions we are, and just to be able to have that joy and that effervescent life, because we're one of the lucky ones. We really are. And I don't think there's a day that goes by that we don't appreciate and aren't grateful for the opportunities that we've had.
Oh my gosh. Swish, I swear you really do need to be a perfect, you're a best public speaker. Like I could just listen to you for hours. Like he's so, do you want to host my show sometimes? I can fill in for you. You're so good. No, it's so true though. It's what you guys are also doing in baseball too. You've not left completely, by the way, which I love so much. So Shane, you're working with the Coconuts and the Savannah Bananas and keeping baseball fun. And I've been following the Savannah Bananas since the very beginning. Our mutual buddy, Eric Burns, was the coach in the beginning. And, I love what they're doing to help bring baseball back to, fun roots. It's almost like Harlem Globetrotters, a little fun, like have fun with it. Don't take it so seriously. And also, with you, Swish, the fact that you're still working alongside the Yankees just proves how much you love that organization. And I just think it's such a testament that the two of you are, you're also coaching. You coach on the sides too, right? Both of you. I love this. Like, this is what true baseball. Like, this is why I loved you both so much and wanted you both on, because as a fan, when somebody really loves the game, and you can see that you two really love the game. And that's what I think baseball's all about. Like, it reminds me so much of just going with my dad and watching games at seventh inning stretch. And, it just, it takes me back. So
it really
the
does.
Cracker Jacks and the popcorn, yeah.
I mean, this
it's a little more expensive, but it's still happening.
I think, obviously, knowing Shane as a player, but getting to know him more as like a buddy and as a brother and as a friend, I think that both of us are very aligned in the way we go about life. And at the end of the day, we love this shit. Like, there's nothing more that we would want to be doing other than giving back to the game that gave us everything. I tell this to kids all the time. I'm like, the game of baseball gave me the house, the roof over my head, the food that I eat, the car that I drive. I owe my life to this game because I was one of the fortunate ones that got to run the gauntlet and be at the top of the mountain. And so I think just in general, for any kid out there that wants to go for it, fucking go for it. Because at the end of the day, it can give you a life that you would never, ever imagine. Who would have thought someone like myself, coming from a little small town in Parkersburg, West Virginia, would be in the position he is now? I'm just, we have this massive painting. I wish I could show it to you guys. It's this huge painting, and it has one word written on it, and the word is gratitude. And every day when I pass it, it makes me think to myself, damn, bro, you're one lucky motherfucker just to be able to have been where you were. And then I get to hang with guys like Shane who have that same excitement and joy for life. Because at the end of the day, you worry about your brothers who get retired because you never know what's going to happen to those guys. You hope that they hold on to their money. You hope that they do things right. And I think the game of baseball has really, really, taught us about relationships a lot. And being part of the Commissioner's Ambassador Program, as well as working for the New York Yankees, it has just been an honor to be part of all of this. I was one of the lucky ones, just like Shane was, just to be part of all of this. Because if you're special and lucky enough to be part of it, you'll never ever forget it.
Wow. For sure. If you told some little boy that grew up on a little island in the middle of the ocean, the most isolated place in the world, that he would become a Major League Baseball player, man, I would have told you,
exactly.
kick rocks, man, kick rocks.
I was going to say, as you were saying all that, Swish, I was like, but really, though, I mean, baseball's so popular in Hawaii. I mean, obviously, Shane, you had no other option than to become a baseball player in Hawaii.
Yeah. And like you said, the gratitude, the appreciation that, that every day, I coach, and you said you attest to kids, but I attest to my 15U team that I speak to, on a weekly basis. And I just got into them a little bit on a Tuesday. It's like, there's such complacency at your guys' age, and that, Coach Shane was a kid once, and I was the kid that no coach wanted, no coach could coach because I was just, I was reckless. I didn't want to practice. Practice. What's practice? As that Allen Iverson said, practice? We talking about practice? Like, and I had that mentality. And so what I told kids is it took me farther along, on my journey to figure that out. Where for you, I want to make an impact as a guy who went through the journey, and someday you get to go and be a Major League Baseball player. To be honest with you guys, none of you guys even will make your guys' middle school team or your high school team. But I don't, and I'm going to be brutal when I say it that way, is because I want you to take that and walk away from here and say, you know what? Coach Shane said I couldn't do this. Well, I'm going to do this to prove him wrong, because there's a lot of that these days. It's like, oh, you're the best. Like, yeah, come on out. Like, I need you on this tournament. I need you on that tournament. I'm like, no, bro. Like, what about work ethic? What about being a teammate? I called one of my guys out on the weekend. I said, you think you had a good weekend, kid? And he's like, yeah, I had a great weekend. I had a better weekend than the guy that played in front of me all the time. I said, wait, what just came out of your mouth?
Yeah, exactly.
I said, excuse me? I said, I just called your bluff. So I know truthfully now, and this is my most like cheerful, most energetic guy, but we all become selfish at some point. We all feel bad for ourselves, you know? And so when he said that, I said, time out, kid. I said, did you really think like that on the weekend about your teammate? I said, something's wrong here. So to be able to walk the gauntlet, like you said, to be able to make the impact on these kids now, man, I love, like I said, I don't even have a son. My son's really not playing baseball anymore. You know, he's playing lacrosse and he's doing other things.
Played lacrosse.
Yeah, you know, and it's a great sport. I love it. I didn't watch lacrosse. There was no lacrosse in Hawaii, I promise you, growing up. But to watch these kids go about lacrosse, and it was a big East Coast sport, playing in Philly, playing in Boston. Yes, I heard all about lacrosse. But to actually have a son, so was 3 years ago we started.
Hawaii, it's not popular either.
Far from there, yes. And so when I started to learn the sport, I was like, man, what are they doing? How did they hit it? And next you know, guys are getting tomahawked and checked with sticks. And I was like, wait, my son's playing a sport that's way more aggressive than I thought. But I love it. You know, it's like I said.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about, you know, it's
so
just not about,
concussions.
oh, my God, it's crazy. And I just was like, wow, what is, and so when I look back, as you said, you know, Nick, on this situation is like, yes, the game of baseball gave us so much. We're lucky to be a part of it. We're lucky to be able to still make that impact, you know, and have that opportunity. So, you know, again, just like doing this interview, it's fun. It's, you know, being able to talk about something that we got to do and we love and, you know, share good stories for sure.
Honestly, this has been a dream come true. You made me and Bob Haas so happy. You have no idea.
As long as Papa Haas is happy, that's all. Hopefully I get to meet Papa Haas someday in person in Philly.
Yes, please. Oh my gosh. If you ever want to meet Papa Haas, he will be in his chair. He will not have moved, but you will be in his chair. No, but thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you guys. And I also appreciate you guys helping us with our little World Series chat. And thank you both. You are legends, and it has been an absolute honor. So thank you guys so much for joining All In with Ashley.
Kid. Keep doing what you're doing, dude. Keep doing what you're doing, kid.
And now it's time for my pick six, where I give you my locks of the week. And let's start things off with a team that I know is going to lose, the Dallas Cowboys. So my lock of the week is going to be the Broncos. The spread is 3.5 points. They're going to cover easily. So spread them. Another favorite that I think is going to cover the spread are the Bills. The Bills are a 7-point favorite going into Carolina to play the Panthers. I think that with Bryce Young being injured, I'm just, you know, Andy Dalton is likely to step in. And while he is a decent veteran replacement quarterback, I just don't know. I mean, the Bills, they're coming off a bye. They're fresh. They're coming off 2 losses. They desperately are going to show who they are and what they're about. So I'm going to go Bills for the win, and they're going to cover that 7-point spread. Spread them. My third lock of the week is actually going to be an underdog. I'm taking Steelers plus 3.5. That's right. I think Aaron Rodgers going against his old team is going to fire something up. They're playing the Packers. The Steelers are home. The Packers generally actually have a really rough time playing in Pittsburgh. Could be because they used to have Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. Either way, I still think I'm going to lean towards taking the Steelers plus 3.5 points. And for the primetime Monday night football game, we have the Commanders that are going to be taking on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are home. The Chiefs are coming off of a crazy win against the Raiders, a shutout. Now, the spread is very high. It's 12.5 points currently, and obviously favoring the Chiefs at home against a Commanders team who is going to be without Jaden Daniels. So I'm leaning towards not taking the point spread here, but I am leaning towards taking an over-under. So let's talk totals. So the total's 46.5, and I think both these teams can put up some points. Now, Mariota is actually going to be stepping in for Daniels, and Marcus Mariota is not a bad replacement. So with Marcus Mariota as quarterback, I think that the team is strong enough to get some points going, and I think they're going to cover 46.5 points. So spread them. And now it's time to talk a little player props. For my 5th lock of the week, I'm actually going to double down, baby. I'm taking a Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. It's minus 140. It's a little steep, but I'm going to use that. I think that is a sure winner, because here's why. Last week, I should have known better. What was I thinking? He had just gotten in trouble for doing the tush push so many times, and everyone was saying that he couldn't throw the ball. So of course he had to throw the ball. He didn't do one even chance of running it in. But where is it acceptable? Philly. So I'm going to double down, and I think that he's definitely going to run a touchdown in himself in Philly, where we don't mind a tush push. I mean, you know, I mind it a little when you do 4. I'm not going to lie. But I love a tush push when it's necessary. So doubling down, anytime touchdown, Jalen Hurts. And now for my last lock of the week, let's do a little player prop. Starting us off with a Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown. Now, obviously, he's probably going to get a touchdown, considering the fact that Vegas has it at -400. Crazy odds. But if you take Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown and you parlay it with a Javonte Williams anytime touchdown, which is -120, and you put it together, you get plus 129, and that I do like, because Jonathan Taylor is leading the league right now with touchdowns. He has 10 current rushing touchdowns, and 3 of which were last week against the Rams. So definitely think he's going to get one. And even though I hate taking a player prop against a team like the Cowboys, who I am expecting to lose for the Broncos, I love Javonte Williams' player prop here because he used to play for the Broncos, and I think he is going to go off, not to mention the fact that he leads the league in 3rd for touchdowns, coming in just after Jonathan Taylor. So that is my pick 6 locks of the week. That is our show. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, I am so excited. Baseball, football, hockey, basketball, and F1's coming to Vegas soon. Oh, I cannot wait. So guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Happy sports. Yay, sports.
The money keep calling my name.